remember being in like an 8th grade, like 5 years ago, and it was a Black Friday. So there were like discounts everywhere. And I naturally really wanted to get my hands on some nice training program, like a paid one, one of the premium ones. At the time I was training purely calisthenics, and there was that one guy on YouTube whose video I watched like 100 times. His name was Darek Voś, and he was selling his own training program. It was on a discount for like 50 bucks. So I bought it as soon as I saw that discount, and excited as hell, I came back home to do my first workout from that training plan. And I don't want to like mock the guy or say that his program was shitty, but it was pretty bad, There was literally everything written out, like workout 1, workout 2. There was like, I think 48 workouts, so pretty good. But the thing is, all the reps, all the sets, all the rest times, exercises, literally everything was written down exactly in numbers. Like there was no personalization at all. Every guy who bought the program was doing literally the same exact stuff. And it was also like boring as fuck. The exercises there were like really weird. The order of them didn't make much sense for me. So naturally, after like a month or two, I didn't see much progress. I don't really remember why. I can recall that I really was consistent. So consistency and actually doing the work was not a problem. The training program itself just sucked. So I didn't have much progress, I got discouraged, and I literally quit training completely for like half a year. Now, luckily, I came back to training after like 6 months, because otherwise you wouldn't be watching that video. But my point is, the internet gives you so much shitty advice when it comes to strength training programming. It's such an important part of training, being able to program your own trainings. Meanwhile, so few people actually teach it on YouTube. It's so hard to find credible people who actually explain training concepts in an easy to understand way so that you can learn to program your own trainings. I mean, there is like Alexander Bromley, maybe Alex Leonidas, but he doesn't really explain training, he just shares some advice. Maybe there's like Matt Wenning, but he also doesn't give like a full picture. I think there is only like Alex Bromley who really gives you the full picture how a strength training program should look. Holy shit, why is this so light suddenly? Okay. So I actually believe that the reason why so many people make shitty progress in their strength training is because there is just no information available to learn from, to learn to program your own training plans. It's very, very hard to learn that from the internet. So in this video I just wanted to explain how I learned to program my own trainings, because it was really a game changer. After I learned that, my progress just skyrocketed. I was suddenly making a shit ton of gains. I knew exactly what kind of training is the best for my type of personality, for my type of muscle fibers, for my body, because every one of us is different. Every one of us requires a slightly different approach to training. It is just impossible to give everyone a cookie cutter training program and expect everyone to progress nicely, So I can pretty confidently say this. If you want to achieve high advanced levels in strength training, if you really want to become a fucking beast, you need to learn strength training programming for yourself. Or you need to get yourself like a very experienced coach. There is no other option. You will not get to higher levels by doing like random shit. Obviously there are people with like elite genetics, and it is actually most of the calisthenics community. They can't program for shit, but they just reached higher levels because they just kept doing random stuff, kept experimenting, and they found their own way. But as you can see on the example of Darek Voś, they can't teach anyone else to program. They can only do it for themselves. I actually watched a video on Larry Wheel's channel with Chris Haria, and he said something that really shocked me. He said that
even in the same day of this, in the same week, like I can try, for example, a planche or some planche push-ups. Maybe one day out of the week I'll hit like 5, and then another day out of the week I'll double it. I'll hit like 10. To me, it's very anxiety-inducing, because one day you'll be like, damn, I'm strong as, can we curse? I'm strong as fuck.
Of course,
bro.
no doubt, yeah.
All right, like you feel strong as fuck. You're like, I'm ready to go for the next thing, and then the very next day or 2, 3, 4 days later, you're like, damn, bro, like what the fuck happened, bro?
So, like,
You just
what-
gotta trust the process.
Right, then the process of powerlifting is usually programming, right? Having a good coach, following a good program.
Bro, that is like the complete fucking base of fatigue management. These are absolute fundamentals of strength training programming. You should know why that happens. You should be able to predict it and structure your training accordingly so that you can expect steady growth and actually know how your training program looks. So I could actually see that Chris Heria, one of the best guys in the world in calisthenics, actually he also can't program his own strength training. He just relies on doing random shit and improving in that way. If you want to take such approach, go ahead. I wish you all the best. I wish you luck. But the truth is, most of us don't have elite genetics, and most of us won't get far by just experimenting and repeating like random shit. So let me give you a few very good sources how you can actually learn to program your own strength training to actually get stronger over long term and reach those higher echelons of strength and also build a fucking amazing physique. The first thing are books. You need to read books about strength training. Some of the best I could recommend you are like Practical Programming by Mark Rippetoe, 2 books by Alexander Bromley, the guy who has a YouTube channel. He has a book called Base Strength, which is incredibly good. I really recommend you to read it. And he has also a book called Peak Strength. I haven't read the whole book, but I just started reading it and it is also amazing. Then you also have books by Mike Israetel, the guy from Renaissance Periodization. He has like 2 books about strength training and hypertrophy training, and they are also very good, but they are like very meritorical. So reading them is a bit hard. It's like reading a textbook from school, so it's pretty difficult, but there is like a lot of helpful information there if you have a patience and endurance to go through that. Another book, if you like calisthenics, is Overcoming Gravity by Stephen Lowe or Understanding Calisthenics by Mika Schultz. Both of them are pretty good. I haven't read the latter, but I know Mika has some serious knowledge, so he really knows his stuff. And yeah, I don't want you to just read books, because you won't really get far by just reading books. I also want you to test out different training programs on yourself. This is literally the key to understanding and learning strength training programming. You need to, for example, from Practical Programming, the book from Mark Rippetoe, inside of that book you can find a program, a strength training program that consists of a linear progression, doing squat, bench press, overhead press, and a deadlift. And you just keep doing these lifts, keep linearly progressing. It is like a very basic and easy strength training program, but I really recommend you to just run it and test it out for yourself, because running strength training programs is really what gives you the most experience and teaches you the most how a proper good strength training should look like. After you run something like Practical Programming from Mark Rippetoe, you can go, for example, and read Grayskull LP ebook, and it is a slightly more complicated and improved version of linear progression from Mark Rippetoe, so you can then go to that. You can run the Grayskull linear progression for a while. You will also learn a lot from it. After that, you can go read a book, for example 531, and you can run that program on yourself. Basically, there are many different books that explain many different strength training programs, many different approaches to training. And this is literally how you learn strength training programming. You read these books, and then you test out the strength training programs written out in these books on yourself for like 1 to 3 months each program. And this really makes you learn a lot. It's kind of like learning English or another language by watching content, watching YouTube video. Even if you don't understand certain words, you can just guess the meaning based on the context, you know? So this is exactly how you learn strength training programming from just running programs. You just subconsciously start understanding how things should fall in, how certain things work, what variables should be in that good training program. So yeah, if I were to give you like a list, a roadmap, what you should do from start to end to fully learn strength training programming, it would be start with Practical Programming, as I said, then go to Grayskull linear progression, then read a book, for example Base Strength by Alexander Bromley, and in that book Alex shares really a lot of good training programs for different purposes. So you can run several strength training programs from that particular book, so it will last you for like a year of testing. And basically after these three things, you will be able to program your own strength training for yourself. As simple as that, literally. What you could also do is watch a video by Alexander Bromley about his tier list about strength training programs. He has like a 30-minute video where he basically just makes a tier list showing the best strength training programs on the planet. So you could also take some inspiration from that video. He also shares some really good strength training programs that let you really learn a lot of technical stuff. And yeah, just run these programs. It's just as simple as that, you know? I don't really know what else to say here. I'm actually thinking about making like an online community and then inviting some of you guys who watch this video to that community, and there we could like run different strength training programs. We could like run together a 5-3-1, we could run together some Bull Mastiff or some other strength training programs and just learn together, you know. I think it would be a pretty fun experience, just sharing our experiences, learning together, getting stronger and bigger together. I really think it would be fun to do something like that. So let me know in the comments if you would be a part of something like this. Right now not a lot of people watches my videos, so I don't think I will run it in that particular moment. Hopefully I will gain like a few hundred subscribers, so maybe then I would start out something like that, so at least like 5 or 10 people would join, but I would just make it free and we would all just train together, you know. So yeah, this is it for this video. I hope it helped you. I hope I managed to explain you how you can learn to program your own strength training, because it is just so crucial to be able to do that, to get stronger, but so few people talk about it. I mentioned Alexander Bromley like 10 times in this video, and he is probably like literally the only guy on YouTube who can explain the technical stuff of strength training programming in like a understandable and easy to grasp way. So you should really watch that guy if you want to get strong as fuck. And yeah, I think that's it for this video. I hope you can notice I have a new chair. I hope I don't look like a fucking Fortnite gamer kid, but it's really fucking comfortable. My old chair, I think you can see it right there. So yeah, this one is a lot more comfortable. I feel a lot more comfortable talking to you guys, so I think I will just keep making more videos, keep sharing more valuable information, and that's all for today. Peace out.